Or welcome back. This is Frank DeMore with part 3 for March 11th of 2011. And I want to continue on with these tremors that we're seeing in the Middle East, the peace talks, and all the puzzles that are coming together related to Bible prophecy and current events. Now, a part of these tremors has to do with the nation of Iran and their president, Ahmadinejad. Ahmadinejad has said on numerous occasions that he wants to get the nuclear weapons in his hands. He's stated on many occasions that he wants to wipe Israel off the map. And he is actually doing exactly what we see in Psalm 83, because in Psalm 83 it says that they would be coming down and counseling with themselves and saying that let's get rid of Israel so that their name isn't remembered anymore. So they're doing exactly what Scripture says they're going to do. Now the Psalm 83 is where they say that, but Iran is going to be involved in a war with Israel at a later time. They won't be involved in a major conflict in the Psalm 83 war. We do know that behind the scenes they're going to be instrumental in helping push the Psalm 83 war, but there's something that's happened that is very, very alarming to Israel now. And many of you may not know this, but I was reporting quite some time back. I believe it was about 3 or 4 months ago, maybe. Almost daily I was posting, is Israel going to attack Iran and wipe out Iran's nuclear power plants? And they held back, and the reason why they held back is because Barack Obama asked them to hold back. And I believe that Israel thought that there was a possibility that the Americans would take care of the problem, so they stepped back, but obviously that hasn't been taken care of. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because Iraq was warned by Israel that they were going to get their nuclear power plant wiped out. Israel did just that when Saddam Hussein did not get rid of the nuclear power plant. They attacked them. They wiped out that power plant and the nuclear facility in Iraq. And then again, they did this with Syria. Syria, I believe it was 2007. The Israelis found out that they had this nuclear facility being built. Israel warned them, and they did not heed the warning, so Israel sent in the IDF, the Air Force there, and they wiped them out. Now, as of late, we just found out in the news, if you've been reading my post, that Syria, again, is building 4 different places nuclear weapons for a nuclear weapons facility to get a bomb again. And so this has caused major problems, these tremors that I was talking about in the Middle East. Now you have Syria, who is developing nuclear weapons, and you have Iran, who's developing nuclear weapons, tied together because they're allies. And if you saw just this past month, Iran had these ships that passed through the Suez Canal, and now they're docked, or they were docked at the Syrian port. They've since left and are on the way back to Iran, but they unloaded, God only knows what they unloaded there. But you see all of the puzzles coming together. Now let me read you an article that came out from the Depka file on March 10th, which was yesterday. The title says, Obama accepts prospect of nuclear-armed Iran. Now, Israel has warned that they would take out Iran's nuclear weapons system. And now I believe in my heart that because Israel knows that the United States, with the toothless Barack Obama, is not going to do anything, that they're going to be forced into doing something. So listen to this article. It says, during the 4 days between Thursday, March 4th, and Monday, March 7th, the Obama administration switched its Iran policy. As rocketing oil prices triggered by the Arab revolt wiped out the damage caused by the Iranian economy by sanctions, Washington confirmed the worst Saudi and Israeli suspicions that America had no intention of acting to stop the Islamic Republic attaining nuclear weapons, although it held back Israel back from doing so when it was more feasible. This discovery has dealt America's allies in Ramadi and Jerusalem their second letdown in 3 months, on the heels of the White House encouragement of the uprising against select number of Arab rulers. The White House laid the ground for its change of heart on Iran with public statements that drew little attention from the international media during the Lebanon or the crisis in Lebanon. Goes on to say the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, presented the Senate Arms Service Committee this week with the revived version of the conventional 2007 National Intelligence Estimate, which claimed originally that all the evidence that Iran had halted work on the nuclear arms in 2003. And what they're saying here, in a nutshell, is they got news that Iran stopped their quests for the nuclear arms. It was a lie. They've never stopped, and I kept saying this over and over, don't believe the lie, and now we know that, as I warned, it is now the truth. They never stopped it. They had no intentions to stop it. It goes on to say, it is now confirmed that the misinformation contained in the original NIE was the pretext for holding back not only an Israeli attack on Iran, but also a direct American action for keeping nuclear arms out of Iran's hands. By revising the enormous estimate, the Obama administration shows it is willing to catch up and come to terms with the reality of Iran's wide open option to develop nuclear weapons. So in short, President Barack Obama is allowing Iran to go ahead. He's not going to do anything to build their weapons facility, which will give them a nuclear weapon. And this means that there is no question that Iran will use this weapon. And if you think that they won't, you're misunderstanding President Ahmadinejad, because this man has said on many occasions that he believes that he was born for a purpose, and that purpose was to bring out the 12th Imam, who was going to come at a time of crisis, which they believe the time of crisis is here. We've heard many of the Imams, their religious leaders, say that the Ahmadi is here and that it's going to happen. This chaos is going to eventually bring down Israel, the destruction of Israel. So you have now, you've placed Israel in a corner again, without the United States even attempting to go out and stop the building of this weapons, this nuclear weapons. Israel is going to have to take care of the problem by itself. Now, there's many scenarios that could happen that would lead to either the Psalm War or the Ezekiel War. If Israel, say for example, were to strike Syria first to get rid of those nuclear problems there that they're building, Iran may encourage an attack which would cause the Psalm 83 war. And we know that Iran isn't involved in that war, but what will happen is the nuclear problem will still exist in Iran. And so Israel could launch an attack into Iran to wipe out their facility, in which case that attack will come later. But that provocation, as seen by the world, would probably, in my estimation, would cause Russia and Iran, who is their ally, and one of their main allies, and Russia did state, and I have those documents in my book and on many of the posts, Russia said anybody that attacks Iran, it's the same thing as attacking Russia. So if Israel did go in and blow them up, Russia in return would come down, and that would definitely fulfill Ezekiel chapter 38 that hasn't been fulfilled yet, because we know from Ezekiel chapter 38 that Russia will lead the attack, and Iran is going to be a major player. It's going to be their major ally, and so is Turkey. And if you watched my videos or listened or read my posts for the last couple of weeks, you'll see that Turkey, who used to be a major ally of Israel just a year and a half ago, is now a bitter enemy of Turkey. And so all the puzzles are coming, or the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. And there's definitely tremors being felt in the Middle East. And soon there's going to be war. Psalm